Don't let the pajamas fool you. We are wearing our best wear tonight because usually my pajamas are a church t-shirt and some shorts.
In my pajamas.
His pajamas. Yeah. You already know. Welcome to another episode of Naked and Unashamed. I am Tega, and welcome to the space where we live a Genesis 2:25 life with no fear, just as God intended. But for us to live in a space where we dwell with Him, where we are honest, where we are vulnerable, where we keep it real and keep God at the center. Hello. Well, welcome to another episode, and I'm here again with my husband. Hey.
Hello.
It's Sunday as we are sitting and recording and talking and doing all the things, and we got to go to church together this Sunday and experience the Christmas service. How was that for you this morning?
We did. It was amazing. As people who normally serve on Sundays, it's honestly a little rare for us to be able to just attend.
Not a little. It's rare. It's pretty rare.
I think this was our third time.
Third or fourth
total.
time in our 4 years together.
Yeah, going to church together, which is a little sad, but I think today's Sabbath was really, really good.
Yeah. And today's message, our lead pastor, Reed, just mainly spoke about how Jesus, he went through John 1 and talked about Jesus being the light in the darkness. And it was just good, so good to sit in that truth that the darkness could not overcome the light, and that Jesus stepped into the dark circumstance that was the world and steps into the dark circumstances of our life. And he shows us the way. He shows us the truth. He shows us his life and he gave us his life. And so it's just beautiful that we get to celebrate that this season. It's Christmas week. It's the week of all things, getting to celebrate Jesus and all the things, which, side note, y'all, if you could see our tree right now,
It's decorated.
It's decorated.
The last episode we talked about how it was not decorated.
But let's also talk about the fact that my husband got me many gifts and I only got him like one, really.
Yeah, so we originally had talked about not getting each other gifts, and then Tega was like, "Oh, I have to get you a gift," so I got you a gift. And then so I was like, "Oh, she got me a gift. Now I have to get her a gift."
I said gift.
And it can't be a gift that is, Weenie Hut Jr.,
Okay. Yeah. And so you decided to give me 12?
It's a lot, yeah. But it's good. And I think I won this year.
I think he won too.
Even though it's not a competition.
It's not a competition, but
I still won.
You won. Thank you. I love you.
I love you.
Anyways, what we're talking about today, obviously Christmas is coming up, and where Jesus really is the reason for the season. He is the greatest gift of all, but we wanted to slow down in this season and also reflect on all the gifts that God has given in 2024 in itself. Now, listen, it's been quite a year, honey. Quite a year. Whether 2024 was an amazing year for you, whether it was a really hard year for you, or whether it was a both and year for you, I think it's important that we just slow down and reflect on just all the things that God has given, because regardless of the highs and lows of the year, like this year has been a gift. Like we have been given life. We have been given just his mercy and his grace. And we've just been given a lot of fun moments, all kinds of things this year. So we wanted to just sit and give you guys some of our favorite things of 2024. All kinds of topics. We're talking about everything and anything. So I guess we should just jump into it. Yeah.
Yeah, let's jump right into it.
Okay.
I think we have a little note going.
Yeah. So I'm interested to hear what some of your stuff is, but yeah, this will be good. Okay, let's start off fun, light, all the things. What was the best song that you heard in 2024?
The best song that I heard and my most played song of the year.
He's still married, y'all. I just noticed he ain't have his ring on.
Man, I'm in my jammies. I don't sleep in my ring.
I don't either.
Because my ring is massive.
This is
if
all
you've
for
seen
show.
It before.
This is all for show.
Yeah, I don't sleep in my ring.
Anyways, as you're saying.
But this song has been on repeat for me all year long, since it came out, and it's "Tiny Moves" by Bleachers.
Yeah, you have
That
played
was our
song.
walkout song at our wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just the perfect song.
How long have you been listening to Bleachers again?
Ooh, I've been listening to Bleachers since I was in high school. So I mean, since the first record.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know who Bleachers was until we got together. But
I love me some Bleachers.
he does.
Yeah,
he does.
But also, as far as like worship goes, I think my favorite song this year was "What a God." The extended version by SEU Worship.
SEU is the highest face that reaches at your feet. Come on. Listen, I'll run around with that bridge. That was so good. Actually,
you turned that into like a halftime groove.
I'm a musician.
Like a little R&B vibe.
I'm a musician. I love that song. Okay, for me, I put "When Wind Meets Fire" by Elevation.
You have been listening to that.
I played that song
every morning.
I played that song out every morning. It was a song for my quiet time. I felt like it ushered me into the throne room.
I love that song.
It's so
like majestic.
Yes.
And like it reminds me of Prince of Egypt, and I love that movie.
I don't know if they ever come out with a second one.
What would it be about?
I don't know.
They already did. I don't know. Prince of Egypt leaving Egypt. Like what would the sequel be? It wouldn't be the Prince of Egypt. It'd be just walking in the desert.
The wilderness. They could call it the wilderness. I don't know.
Okay.
Anyways, When Wind Meets Fire, Elevation wrote the mess out of that song.
Yeah.
It's so good. And also Amen by Madison Ryan Ward. She had another album come out this year. That song in itself, I played that song out. But What a God, it's up there. Yeah. It's pretty good for me.
Tego, what was your favorite album from this year? Do you have one? Because I know that you're more of a songs person or a playlist person, and I'm more of an album guy.
I like albums too, but I feel like because I love the storytelling of an album.
Yeah.
So I would say an album I played a lot this year was Tori by Tori Kelly. That's really her like self-titled album. We saw her live in concert in October.
We got to meet her. Insert picture.
I'm put it in. We'll see. I don't know if I'll put it in.
Viewers on YouTube.
But no, that was such a good album. Gosh, I think I wrote something else down as well. Oh yes, I said the runner-up. She just released this album in October, but I feel like I'm already playing "I Miss You" by Gracie Binion. That's how you pronounce her name?
Yeah, I always want to say Bunyan, but
it's not.
I know it's not.
It's not.
I know
but
it's not.
That album, you'll learn that I like every year. My Spotify Wrapped is pretty much all worship, all Christian artists. That's mainly what I listen to nowadays. Like I'll go back and listen to my old school stuff or like some other projects from time to time. But there's something about just the movement of Christian music these days. It does it all for me. But that I would say.
I'm not the same.
Yeah. Oh, also, I was going to say Elevation's album.
Oh, okay.
That was my top album.
Which is also
of the year.
When Wind Meets Fire.
Mm-hmm.
That's the title of the record. I love worship music, but I do think that there are people out there in the secular world that are, very creative, and they're like exercising that creativity very beautifully. And honestly, kind of going off of my favorite song of the year, Tiny Moves by Bleachers, I think that entire record is flawless. His self-titled record from this year, Bleachers, was honestly the soundtrack for my year, until Two Star and the Dream Police came out by McGee.
That? Oh, okay.
And I've been listening to McGee.
He has been. Every time we're in the car.
Non-stop.
Every time we're in the car. I'm like, please, can we play something else?
I remember I first listened to that album while I was at work, and I was on a lift, maybe 50 feet up in the air, and just wrangling cables, and my AirPod fell out while I was listening to it, and it fell 50 feet. Landed on the ground, and I was like, surely this thing's broken. But went down, got it.
And he played the
It
music
was,
again?
it was in perfect condition. Shout out Apple. Give me a sponsorship, please. But those are probably my two top records of the year.
Mhm.
Bleachers, 2-star on the Dream Police. As far as worship goes, I think that SU Worship had one of the best
I would
albums.
name them too. Yeah.
Look, like they just ate this year.
My
Like you can
goodness.
tell that they were in the quiet place. You can tell that they
Yes.
were like really sitting with these songs, like lyrically in the production of it, and I just think it really shows with the product that they have.
I have Slower I Go playing in my head.
Yeah, I mean the entire record from top to bottom is incredible. Like
Yeah.
no skips.
Yeah.
Honestly. So yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
I would say that those are my favorite albums.
Perfect. Okay. What is the best book you read this year or piece of work that impacted you? I added that second question because
I'm not good at reading books, at least not right now. I listened to a couple audiobooks,
okay.
and haven't gotten all the way through them. I'm not very good at finishing audiobooks because there's not really for me, it's like if I'm reading a book, I want to read like a physical book, and I want to have a bookmark in it. I want to know where I'm at, and for some reason, it just doesn't equate with me with audiobooks.
I feel like if you listen to an audiobook on a drive or during work, or you use the other Kindle that we have in the home.
We could. Yes. Yeah.
But anyways,
But
was there a piece of work or anything like that?
I will
really
say
inspired
the
you?
books that I have read, I will name Honor's Reward and Awe of God by John Bevere.
Both of them by John.
Both of them are by John Bevere.
Okay.
And they're both incredible. Awe of God is honestly, it's all about the fear of the Lord versus fear of man. It's a lot of game-changing stuff. And then for me, Honor's Reward, I read that back towards the beginning of the year, and it was game-changing because that one is all about it's about honor, and there's a whole part of it that it goes into honoring authority, and I am rebellious by nature. The Lord has wired me to just despise authority and go against it. And so, honestly, reading that book really changed a lot of my mind and my heart. It was a pretty game changer for me. But both by John Bevere, he's a great author, great pastor. But what would you say? What books impacted you the most this year?
So I have Goodreads. If you don't have me on Goodreads, you need to get me on Goodreads. Tega Taylor. Let's be friends. But I read 25 going on 26 books this year.
It's a lot of books.
I didn't hit my goal.
Tell the people what your goal was.
My goal was 35. I'm finishing up book 26 now. We're probably not going to hit the goal. Next year, the goal is going to be 40. We're taking it up. More pressure.
40?
40. Listen, there's girlies
that's
out
almost
here.
a book a week.
Yeah, but baby,
Are you going to be reading what, the Berenstain Bears? Like,
I read chapter books. Here's the
how are you
thing.
going to keep that pace?
The reader girlies are out here reading 100 books a year.
Because they don't work.
Maybe that is their job. That is their job.
Is it?
Yes.
How's that their job?
Because their job is to read. They put out content for girlies like me who are like, oh, yes. I
Oh,
need
so
to
they're
read
just
this
like social media like influencers, but for books.
Yeah. Book Talk and
Okay.
BookTube.
Okay.
Anyways, the girlies are out here reading 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 books. I need to catch up. Anyways, so I read all those books this year. So I want to section this out into nonfiction and fiction books. So 2 nonfiction books that I read this year that I loved. One is Anonymous by Alicia Britt Cole. Oh, I read that book this summer, and that book wrecked me. It's now a book that I've decided I'm going to start every single year off with. So that's actually the book I'm going to start off 2025 with.
Nice.
And then the other nonfiction book is The Artisan Soul by Erwin McManus. You know I was going to say this because I feel like I won't shut up about this book. It's so good. It's the first book I've read by him fully. And it is different.
He's unreal.
His brain, I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Like I understand and I don't understand it. And there's very few people that I sit here like I'm like I can grasp. I can grasp Erwin, but his brain is also on a different level. Like he's just thinking different. And so it's so fascinating to me. So those are my nonfiction books. And then my fiction book, I would say I read a lot of fiction books this year.
Didn't you read the Fourth Wing series this year?
I started it last year. I read Iron Flame this year.
Okay.
Loved Fourth Wing. However, I would say this year, what is it called? Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows. They're both fiction books, but the author is a believer. But she wrote these fiction books. It's gone as big as like Fourth Wing.
Really?
Yes, it is so good.
What's the general premise? Don't spoil anything, but what's the general premise?
Okay, so here's the thing. It's there's so much. I don't even remember all the things because I'm interweaving it because I've read so much fiction or fantasy this year. So I'm getting all the plots mixed up. But I gave it 5 stars. Both books, 5 stars. It was good. You need to read it. Even if you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm into fantasy, I don't know if I'm into that rah and stuff. I don't know what people's complaint is. I don't know what they have.
All that rah and stuff?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what their issue is, but it's good. It's really good. Divine Rivals is the first book, and then Ruthless Vows is the second book. You've got to read it.
I will say I started off this year with a very zealous goal of reading.
What was your goal?
I wanted to read Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
and I got Lord of the Rings, and the book is as big as my head. And
Are you saying your head is big?
Yes.
Okay.
And
I didn't say it.
And also the book is big.
Okay.
But I started off the year honestly very consistently reading that.
Okay.
I took it with me on trips and
You
stuff.
took it to Korea.
I took it to freaking Korea, and TSA stopped me because the book was so dense that the X-rays couldn't see through it. So they had me flip through the pages to see if there was a bomb inside of it or something.
Lord.
So there wasn't, but Lord of the Rings is a very good book. I haven't finished it yet. I want to pick back up on that one, but it's a very, very good book. I love J.R.R. Tolkien. Him and C.S. Lewis are yeah.
They're not alive. Rest in peace to them.
Yeah. They were good friends though.
Yeah.
And they're great authors. But
moving on from books, do you have a favorite dish that we've had this year, or maybe a favorite meal?
Here is the issue that London and I come into. Our favorite foods are Michelin restaurants. Are we sick?
it's a tough life.
Are we
It is,
what
it
is
is a
going
hard knock life, liking good things. And let me
and
tell
being
you,
broke.
look, our marriage is so amazing. However, we are both people of expensive taste, and we are suffering.
I don't
because
think
of it.
I'm at your level.
You couldn't survive without Aesop hand lotion.
Okay.
You
introduced me. You introduced me. It's a sickness.
Okay.
You introduced me to that sickness.
Oh, the sickness.
Because here's the thing. I used to use soft soap.
Not soft soap.
I used to
You can
use
at
soft
least use freaking Good and Gather or whatever.
No, baby. I didn't. I
Good
grew up on soft.
method,
No,
come on.
I grew up on soft soap, and if it was almost done, you
Like
put
the
water
pink
in it. No, not that, baby. Soft soap has
Oh.
different flavors.
Flavors.
I don't know what it's called.
I knew you ate soap.
You shut up.
That was a layup. Honestly.
Here's the thing. Soft soap has different flavors, and I grew up in a Nigerian home, And so when we were almost done with the soap, you just add water and you just shake it and you keep using it. That's how I grew up. That's how I grew up.
Alright.
Anyways, you introduced me to different soaps, and now I've gone to Aesop. I can't go backwards because people are going to be like, brokey, you can't afford good soap.
There's no going back.
Anyways, how do we
But
get
we
here?
are
Okay.
going to go back to the
Michelin
question
restaurants.
that I
Yes.
asked.
So we love Michelin restaurants. And so I wrote down, I know that we went to Europe this year. We tried all kinds of places, but I still cannot get over the things that we've had in Chicago.
It's true.
And
Very
so we had these places for the first time last year, but we had them again this year. So I would say Avec in Chicago.
Avec.
And is it Kasama or Kasama?
Kasama.
Kasama.
I would also say Rosemary.
I don't even remember what we had there, so it didn't
Okay.
hit me that much. I'm thinking about those meatballs from Avec.
Yeah. They have like these, it's like dates, meatballs. It's like a meatball inside of a date, right? Wrapped
A meatball
in bacon.
inside of a date inside of a meatball.
A date inside of a meatball
Wrapped in bacon with a spicy sauce.
with a spicy
oh,
red sauce on it.
Jesus.
Unbelievable.
Thinking about it.
Unbelievable.
I'm thinking about it, and I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Honestly, I would say the same. Kasama's on my top.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
He talks about
like,
that place.
I dream about that
He does.
place.
He does.
And the last time we were in Chicago, we were going to go get lunch at Kasama, and they were closed.
like rats.
And I'm not going to lie, my heart was broken, but I could tell it affected Tega more.
It did.
So I
I'm
had
not
to
gonna
be
lie
strong.
to you.
I had to be strong.
You were because I was actually, when you just like, you really, really are craving something. You're on your way there. Like your taste buds are already set. You're ready. You know they're not going to fail you. You know.
And then McDonald's like, the ice cream machine isn't working. And then you're like, I'm going to blow this place up.
Baby, please. If the government is watching, we weren't
The
even
government
here.
doesn't care about McDonald's unless...
They care about us though.
Okay, all right.
So anyways, we're believers. In
But
Christ
essentially,
alone.
we didn't get to have our Kasama this
We
past
didn't.
time. But next time, we will.
Next
I'm
time.
dreaming about it.
Next time. What?
Their breakfast sandwich with a hash brown added on it. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
The egg is, I believe it's like what, Korean?
No, it's the Filipino style.
A Filipino style steamed egg,
Mm-hmm.
and it is so fluffy and like jiggly, and it's the greatest consistency. It's like air,
Mm-hmm.
but it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
And also their pastries are
Amazing.
unreal.
Their coffee's good. Everything, top to bottom.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your?
my other one?
Oh, so you had those.
So Kasama was my other one.
Okay.
My other one I would say is Mama T's hash brown bowl.
Wait, like me?
Yeah.
Whoa, I'm your top dish.
Because Tega makes this breakfast like hash
Whoa.
brown scramble bowl kind of. And it's so good. This year I think she evolved the recipe.
Yes, I added
banana peppers.
Yes.
Changes the game.
Yes.
It's so good.
Babe, that is so kind.
Yeah. But then also a couple honorable mentions from our honeymoon. Breakfast at
Casa Olea?
at Casa Olea.
Man,
at
if
at
they
the
don't have
place
a
we
Grammy.
stayed. A Grammy? Look,
They just need an award.
I mean,
like-
just that hotel, just in its whole, is like,
it's so good.
I don't think I've ever been to a spot like more perfect.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't say perfect like in an exaggerating way. It is like the perfect. At least it was for us. It was the perfect experience
from top to bottom.
Their food was incredible. The actual hotel was incredible. Their staff was incredible, and it was just amazing.
Yeah.
So honorable mention there. Right next door, honorable mention to La Baya. There's a restaurant right next door where...
shout out to whatever that man's name was.
Oh, man, what was his name?
It's somewhere in my phone,
It's
but
just
whatever
like
his
the
name
most
was, he
Italian
knows.
name ever. He he was so good at his job that he convinced us to spend like $300 at this restaurant.
Yeah.
That was our first meal in Europe.
Yeah.
And then last but not least,
Honorable mention to Korean restaurant in Paris called is it called Mayan Ka?
Baby, don't be saying it. It sounds like Mayan Kampf.
Baby, that's not even how you pronounce Mein Kampf.
I was like, I don't know what that man's book is, but I've never read it.
I'm pretty sure it's Mayan Ka.
I don't know if the
Yeah, I knew it. Myungka.
okay.
God, that like
Outside of Korea, that is some of the best Korean food I've ever
It
had.
was really good.
And honestly, I would say it was better than some of the food I had in Korea. So freaking good.
It introduced me to date tea, so
Yes.
it's good for your
Date tea
periods.
is really good for your periods, apparently.
Yeah.
So
For the
girlies,
girls. For the girls.
flock to the stores.
Okay, what's your favorite TV? What was your favorite TV show of 2024?
Okay. I have a couple
Okay.
because I couldn't choose.
The Bear will always be top for me. I love The Bear. It's so good. And I loved this season. I know a lot of people didn't, but I loved this season.
We still haven't finished it though.
We need to. We've kind of been just like waiting to watch the last episode for the past 6 months. Are you struggling with that straw?
I wasn't gonna say. I said something.
It was swinging.
Yeah, hey.
Also, don't I look a little pretentious drinking greens at night? In my
Maybe.
pajamas that I don't
I don't-
even really wear?
I mean, I don't know. I don't. Is it pretentious to drink greens?
Here's the other thing that I just have to quickly say about my pajamas. At my bachelorette, all the girlies were like, you're not going to wear lingerie every night for your husband. Like, you're just going to wear your regular clothes. And I was like, I'm never going to be no rat. I'm always going to wear cute stuff for my man at night. I'm wearing my XL church t-shirt and my shorts. I haven't worn these since my bachelorette. Pretentious.
You know what my favorite thing is? And this might get into the land of TMI, but like
No, there's no such thing.
There's nothing that gets me going more than trying to be intimate with my wife and I look at her shirt and the Rugrats are staring back at me. And I hope you can tell the sarcasm in my voice. I'm trying to like I'm trying to kiss you and hey Arnold's staring at me.
And that's how it's gonna be. And that's you gotta work for it. Yeah, you gotta work for it. Back to the subject at hand.
Okay.
Favorite shows. The Bears definitely top. Also, another show that we just started that I am absolutely loving
Love.
is West Wing.
Yes.
I am in love with this show.
No, all of a sudden I'm really patriotic.
Dude, I love America. Like, I don't think there's been a time in my life that I've ever loved America more than I do right now.
Yeah.
Except it's not the America that we live in.
No.
At all.
No,
it's actually a fictional America from freaking like 2000, or actually this is 1999, right?
No, it's so now they're in the 2000.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I thought the first season came out in like 1998.
The first 4 episodes of season 1 came out at the end of 99.
So we're in year 2000.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, I love it. The cast is phenomenal. The whole show, the whole premise, it's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Love it. Unless I'm forgetting like a bunch of other shows that I've watched this year, I'll say my other top favorite show this year, Arcane. Season 2 came out this year. I know, Tega, you haven't seen it, but it is so freaking good. The art style, it's an animated show on Netflix. Art style's unreal. The music, incredible, even though their theme song is by Imagine Dragons. Like, the show is actually so good that you will sit through an Imagine Dragons song to watch the show, and you actually enjoy it. That's how good the show is.
So I would say those are my top 3 shows for this year.
I was
What
going to
about
say
you?
my top show. So I haven't really watched a lot of like TV. You know, I'm more of like a YouTube girly these days, which shout out to my girl.
Which honestly, the girls you watch on YouTube, they might as well be TV shows because their episodes are
Absolutely.
freaking like 2 hours long.
Rich, like the main girl that I watch. Shout out to Jess.
Jess,
It's
like,
only one.
It's only one.
It's only one. It's only one, Jess. Only one, Jess. Love and having. He knows the theme song. He knows because I love Jess. I do. I feel like we're best friends. So I mainly do watch Jess every week. I watch my reader girlies, Haley Pham, Ryan Trahan. Who else?
which Ryan Trahan is not a reading girly.
He's not a reading girly, but
he's
his wife
married
is.
to one. So
Yeah. So I watch a lot of my YouTube people. They're my family. They know who they are. No, they don't because they don't even know me. But shows that I've watched this year: love West Wing, love The Bear, Gilmore Girls. Yes, I just finished season 1 of Palm Royale on Apple TV.
yeah,
Love that show. Season 2 comes out sometime next year, but they ate it up with that show.
I'm sorry.
What?
You just mentioned Apple TV, and I totally forgot.
Oh,
Masters of the Air.
He did love that show.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing like something that'll just jumpstart my yearly just deep dive into World War II.
Yeah.
It happens every year. It's my Roman Empire. I'm always in the back of my mind thinking about World War II.
Yeah.
It was just it was the time to be alive. It was
Well,
not
maybe
for
you would have been
everybody.
drafted. You would have been drafted.
No, I wouldn't have because I have flat feet and I wear glasses. But
Okay.
look, I think it was just like, wow, what a time to be.
Sorry.
What a time to
You
be
still talk about
an
flat
honor,
feet and
like
glasses.
a man who fights for his nation. You know, when it's actually like honorable and stuff. I don't know. I tend to romanticize World War II, which is kind of problematic, but also I think there are some valid points to it. But sorry, you mentioned Apple TV, and I remembered that
No, that's okay.
I watched that.
It was a good show. I got to watch like a little bit of it, but yes. Okay. Favorite movie of 2024.
I can't say a favorite movie
Okay.
because we watched so many this year that are so good. So I've compiled a list.
Lord. How did I know?
Starting off the list, Godzilla -1,
Lord.
which I think technically, technically that wasn't last year.
But you watched it this year, so.
No, I watched it December 28th
Oh, okay. So no.
of last.
Cancel
so,
that one.
dang it,
Cross
that's
it
such
off.
a good one though.
Cross it off.
Okay, all right, Dune Part 2. Unreal.
It's good.
It is such a good movie. That franchise is so well done. Denis Villeneuve, I don't know how you pronounce his last name. He's
Chalamet?
unreal. Timothée?
Timothy.
Timothée. That's how you pronounce his name, technically.
Anyways.
Civil War. That was a movie by A24. Fantastic.
Oh yeah.
It was
I
really
remember that
good.
one.
It's essentially about how like it was like what if America was in a civil war in this day and age, which was like kind of scary how like realistic that was. But it was a very thought-provoking movie. The Fall Guy was really fun.
Are you listening at this point every movie we've seen this year?
Kind of.
Okay.
Which we didn't see that many movies this year, honestly.
Really?
Twisters, so good. Movie of the summer, honestly. It was so good. Soundtrack was incredible. I freaking love Glenn Powell. What a hunk. Joker, Folie à Deux, which I know a lot of people will roast me for that, but honestly,
It was
loved
good.
the second Joker. Thought it was incredible. Did exactly what it needed to do for the characters.
Yeah.
And I'm going to let you say this movie because I know this is one's on your list, so I won't say that. But honor mention to Alien Romulus.
Not those wretched movies.
Look, hey,
they need
it
Jesus
was
up in
a
there.
wretched movie. Not in the sense that it was a bad movie. It was incredible, but it was so horrifying and just like disgusting
You
to watch.
will not catch me ever watching those movies.
I watched that when Tega was out of town.
Yes, that
and,
exactly.
I watched it at night. I came back to our apartment, and I literally turned on all the lights because I was like, there's a thing around the corner that is going to poke its head in and try to kill me.
And you like that?
Oh, it was incredible.
Oh, pity.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, what were your favorite movies?
I don't even know if I have favorite movies because I like sat there trying to think. I'm like, what did I even see this year? Wicked.
Oh, yeah. You didn't even try.
I didn't even try because if I would have
Yeah.
tried, I would have ate Cynthia up a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Just a little bit.
Wicked was really good.
Wicked was good.
I think the only thing better than Wicked were the memes that came out of Wicked.
The internet is a scary place. It is. That's why I'm not on social media right now.
Yeah. But Wicked was really good.
Wicked was good. We Live in Time though.
Ugh.
Y'all.
This one
had me shaking, crying, throwing up in the theater.
same.
What? I would like. It was like the type of cry where like.
Oh my
It was
god.
like cry.
I don't like that one. For
All
me, it
that
was
to
the kind
say-
of cry where it was like we sit in silence as the credits roll and we
Yeah.
just like sit there crying.
Because here's the thing, I put myself in the main character's shoes, and I just was like pained. I was hurting. I was like, "Oof, this is Andrew Garfield. You're a little too good at this role. Give him a man. No,
like-
give him a man. Give that." Give that man a raise is what I wanted to say.
Just because the concept of like having to fight or choose rather, like, all right, my marriage or my career. You know, that's such a wild question to pose.
But it's so real.
It is so real.
Yeah.
But man, that one had me in tears.
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield, Florence Pugh, incredible. Another A24 movie. They're killing it.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now let's start to turn into talking about more moments from the year and just the ways that the Lord has just revealed himself, shown himself, and just good times and hard times, all things, everything in between. So what would you say the funniest moment of the year for you was?
I'm not going to lie. I read this question incorrectly. So I didn't know that it said the funniest moment of the year. I thought it said your favorite moment of the year.
Okay.
So if you want to go first, I can think of the funniest moment of the year.
I literally wrote down that there's so many moments that I've laughed this year.
Yeah.
Like I have laughed so much this year, whether it's like TikToks and just my For You page was so dumb. There's something in particular that I don't even have like social media to even be able to pull up the thing that made us cry laughing. I feel like Wait was a moment where it was just
that was a
so
good
dumb
one.
and funny. No, there's so many moments I laughed this year. Every moment was funny. Some of it was traumatic laughter. When you laugh because it's oh, what else can I do? But
Yeah.
I laughed a lot this year. So all that to say, I don't have a funniest moment of the year. I just had a lot of funny moments this year.
Yeah, I don't know if I can think of a funniest moment of the year. Lots of laughter. But I can't
Especially
think
when you're married to me. You're not gonna laugh. You're not gonna laugh. Laugh. Okay.
No, you're really funny, baby.
Yeah, I know I am. Thank you.
I'll say.
What did you have for favorite moment?
My favorite moment of the year.
Well, actually, we have that later on, or do we not have that?
Do we?
question?
We have a moment.
I said a moment you'll never forget. So that
I mean,
is that different for you?
I think it is different.
Okay, then talk about.
So my favorite moment of the year, it's kind of like tied, not really tied, but I have two favorite ones.
Mm-hmm.
First one is our wedding day.
Mm-hmm.
Just the whole day, honestly. Well, I take that back. Starting from like, I don't know, maybe like 1 p.m.
Yeah.
Because that morning was hell for me.
Which one day we should probably talk about like engagement season and our wedding and stuff like that. We'll make an episode out of that.
Yeah.
But we'll figure
Would
it out.
love to. A little play-by-play.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, whole wedding day. The second one for me is dancing in the rain in Paris on our honeymoon.
That is one of my favorite moments, and I need to get the film developed from when we took that photo.
Yeah. It's very sweet.
It's very sweet.
It's very romantic, and love it.
I love you.
I love you. I also really loved it when we saw the rat.
In Paris.
Yeah.
So we went to the Eiffel
Tower.
Tower. We were leaving the Eiffel Tower. We were literally just playing like romantic music, all the things, and we were walking away. And we had just seen Ratatouille the night before.
Yeah.
And so to see a rat running around in Paris, it was just like, wow.
Yeah, we were literally like walking, and then I was like, "Oh my God, is that a rat?" I was like, "Is that Remy?" And then we look, and there's a rat, and it like scurries away.
Yeah.
It was
And we smiled.
so
It was
funny.
funny. Okay, so then let's go to the next question then. What was our favorite trip of the year?
Our honeymoon.
Yeah. That's literally what I put. Our
Yeah.
honeymoon was like...
I'd say Taiwan, which we recently came back from. That's like probably second.
Mm-hmm.
But our honeymoon.
Our honeymoon. We went to Europe. We went to Lake Como and Paris. Had a little unexpected stop in Zurich, but it was so good.
God, I love it.
So good. Okay.
Incredible.
A moment you'll never forget.
What was yours?
What was my favorite trip or?
No, moment you'll never forget.
Oh, I was going to say it was the moment of worship during our wedding.
Ooh, yes.
It was one of those moments where it quite literally felt like God's hand was like the Spirit of God was hovering.
Yeah.
That was like, I always knew like we were going to like be married. I was sure of that. Like when the Lord made it very clear, but it was in that moment specifically that I was like, the Lord has something for us.
Yeah.
For this union that is like beyond us. And we had a moment in our wedding where we had a moment of our just like first act as a married couple was just to worship God. And we played Most Beautiful by Maverick City Music. And there's this moment where the song stops, but the room is continuing this moment of worship and just praising the Lord. And London is weeping, like we're all crying, and just like I just felt this peace of like, thank you, Jesus, thank you, Jesus, thank you, Jesus.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. That's definitely one of mine. My other one is crying in Rosemary with you in Chicago.
I feel like I want to cry
at
thinking
dinner.
about that now.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Which we'll probably talk about this later in the podcast.
Oh
but
man, I'm tearing up thinking about it now.
just the Lord is so kind.
He is.
And especially this past year of just our first like year of marriage, he has been so sweet to us.
Yeah.
And like, not to say that everything's been peaches and cream and like life has been easy, but the Lord has been alongside us every step of the way. And I know that he has been alongside you, whatever you've been walking through. Like, he is always there. Even if you don't feel it, just ask for the eyes to see, because even in the darkest moments, he is walking.
Yeah.
with you. But yeah, it was just a very sweet moment with the Lord,
And
and
it
I'll
was
never forget it.
really vulnerable too, without us like talking about what it really was. Really vulnerable too, because it was one of those moments where just like heaven meets earth and God reminds you, like, I'm here. Like, I see
Yeah.
you, I hear you, I'm with you. And I think that's what made it so special, because it was like, man, our Father sees us. Like, our
Yeah.
Father knows us and he loves us.
I mean, also talking about the funniest moment of the year, I think that would probably be contender as well, because I think our waitress was just like, do they like hate this food?
Yeah, like we were like sobbing in a really Michelin star
vibes.
in like restaurant.
Yeah,
Oh,
I feel bad for the other people that were dining around us, but look, the Lord was doing something.
He was doing something. We cannot stop for him.
Hey,
Well, we
wait.
can't stop for him. We can let me run it back.
Yeah, wait.
We can stop for him. That's all I had. Anyways,
All right, and that is the end of part 1 of our favorite things. So stay tuned, and part 2 will come out when, Tega?
next week.
Next week. So stay tuned, and have a Merry Christmas in the meantime.